Skinner's getting the start. How do you feel about that, Noodles? Is that the right play in your opinion?
I thought it was going to be Pickard. To be honest, the other night I kind of was said, like, you come back with the guy. We had chat about it earlier, Brian, and even in our group chat, is like when Pickard came in and got the win, it's like, that's it. That's curtains for Skinner. And then I didn't think the loss was at Pickard's feet. Game 5, I thought the whole team was out to lunch. Had a couple good chances early on, and then everybody, like Florida, played a master class. But I can understand the reasoning. This is their guy. He's been their guy 2 years in a row. And, with his back up against the wall, he's played pretty well. And I will say, in game 4 where they came back, he had a good start. Like they had the high danger chances were 13-1. And he got hung out to dry. And, they ended up pulling him for momentum. But wouldn't you say this is the most important game of his career? And really a career as an Edmonton Oiler as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Because, if they lose tonight, we're going to circle the goaltender and say, these guys are what? Oh, you had that stat earlier. Like that, aren't they like 140th in save percentage, since like 2004 or something ridiculous. Like, they're both in the high 80s, 88 or something. You get 9 out of 10, the series might look a little different, but it's certainly the biggest game of Stuart Skinner's career. There's no doubt about that.
But what is he saying to himself, Jamie, going into the game? Is he just like how do you everyone's got different ways. You've told me how nerve-wracking it can be playing the position in big moments. Is he just literally saying, I got to throw a first period at these guys because if I don't, it's just that's game over?
Yeah. I think they're all saying it, like Draisaitl, and I don't know how you guys felt about it. The other night, so the game was at 6 o'clock local. They were doing their media at like 11:30 in the morning, 11:45. Calvin Pickard sitting on the podium with Vander Kane talking. Like, this guy's stopping pucks in game 5 6 hours from now. And the same thing, Stuart Skinner was on the podium with Draisaitl this morning. Like, I do applaud Edmonton's PR group. It's like, we're not hiding these guys. Like, this guy's going out and talking every day regardless, right? So Skinner talked about, he goes, listen, keep in mind, he's been pulled in this building 2 games in a row. Games 3 and 4, he got lifted here. And go back to game 7, he lost. He lost 2-1. So ultimately, I think he has to have a great start. I think he's got to show this group that he can get it done. And that'll be the biggest challenge. But the team needs to play a lot better in front of him because they had a couple looks early on and then they mailed it in game 5. It wasn't good.
Well, that's where I was headed, Noodles. Like, it seems like when Pickard has been in the net more recently, the team played a little bit different or they got different results. Is that part of the concern, I guess, for you with going with Skinner, that the team isn't going to play the way that they had played with Pickard in the net?
I think the biggest thing is, with Pickard, he plays a certain way, which they're like, this guy makes no apologies. He's just aggressive, and he's kind of, they joke it's like a road hockey goaltender, just goes out and it's an unmade bed in there. But the team has to be a lot better. And I think Skinner's at his best when there's more predictability in front of him. And, I think the thought process in talking to somebody from Edmonton this morning is that Skinner's ceiling is higher than Pickard's. So they need his good game is better than Pickard's good game. So what they're hoping on is that he can actually have a good game, where Pickard is more stable. So his high end is lower, but his low end is just below it because he's not wildly inconsistent. Skinner is either top shelf or it's at the bottom. So his swings are a lot more wilder. So what they're saying is, we're hoping that this guy, falls on what he had in Dallas because he was at the top of his game and won 7 of 8. So that's kind of what they're looking at.
Well, and what also is concerning, and you can't really control it necessarily, is Bobrovsky, his ceiling is higher than Skinner's ceiling. Like, even if Skinner has a game, Bob could just say, that's good, great, good for you.